the last class we looked at two cubic equations of state. We said the advantage in using cubic equations is that it can handle both gases and liquid behavior or predictions. The two equations that we saw among the many that are available were the van der Waals equation of state, which you may have some familiarity with from the earlier classes, and also the Redlich-Kwong equation of state. And we also saw a means by which we can calculate the constants a and b in those two equations, and the rationale for that calculation was left as an exercise towards the end of the last class. Now we will start looking at estimation of volumes using the cubic equations of state. Let me use the Redlich-Kwong equation of state to estimate the volumes. It is a little new, you can use a similar thing for van der Waals also. So the Redlich-Kwong equation of state can be used to estimate the volumes of pure substances, and recall that the module deals only with pure substances, this module, if the temperature and pressure are known. We know that the from the very name that these are cubic equations, and therefore we need to necessarily solve them iteratively for volume. So we will write equations appropriately and then solve it. And we also saw from the previous exercise that for iterative solutions the initial guess is very important to ensure quick convergence as well as correctness of the values. Suppose the function is like this and you start with a different initial value, you might end up with a solution that may not be even relevant for the case in question. Therefore, some more insights are required apart from a regular mathematical treatment to know where you are operating. More importantly, we said that the cubic equations can handle both the vapor behavior or the gas behavior as well as the liquid behavior. The vapor volumes are going to be very different from the liquid volumes, maybe hundreds of times more. One volume of liquid approximately 500 to 800 volumes of the gas. Therefore, they could be 2 or 3 orders of magnitude different, and therefore the initial guess depends on the state that we are dealing with. In other words, whether the pure substance is in a vapor form or in a liquid form will determine the initial guess that we are going to make, and this of course will depend on the properties, temperature and pressure. Later in the course we will see how to actually fix the number of variables that are required to know the state of a system. Let us first consider vapor volumes. A good initial guess for vapor volumes is very easy. This is what we chose in the last exercise also, that is the volume that comes from the application of the ideal gas equation. And a good initial guess for liquid volumes may not be that obvious right now, but consider the constant B that appears in the van der Waals equation. For example, van der Waals we are familiar with, there is a V minus B that comes in there. That B essentially accounts for the volume of molecules in the gas, and we are subtracting that to get it of the form that was suitable for that equation of state. Therefore, the value of B that accounts for the volume of molecules could be a very good initial value or an initial guess to start with if one is interested in finding out liquid volumes. Therefore, for a gas volume or a vapor volume, it is an ideal gas equation, the volume that comes out of that, and for the liquid volumes the constant B is a good initial guess. Now let us set up the Redlich-Kwong equation for iterations. In the last exercise we set up something else for iterations. Here we will set up the Redlich-Kwong equation for iterations. To do that, this is the Redlich-Kwong equation, P equals R t by V minus B minus A divided by square root of t power half, that is V into V plus B. This is nothing but equation 3.9, the Redlich-Kwong equation. We will multiply both sides by V minus B by P. Note, we need to have V on this side as well as V on this side for an iterative solution. The iterative solution becomes necessary because of the cubic nature of the equation. So, if we focus on V on this side and V on this side, to get rid of P, let us multiply this by V minus B by P. If we do that here, we need to do that on the right hand side also, and if we do that, P and P will get cancelled, V minus B would remain. Here V minus B would get cancelled, and the first term would be R t by P, and here again we need to multiply by V minus B by P, which would result in A, a minus of A into V minus B divided by t power 0.5 square root of t into P into V into V plus B. And therefore, we can transpose this equation and also write it in terms of n plus 1 and n, which will be suitable for iterations. We always said that we have a guessed value, then we calculate a value, then we compare the calculated value to the guessed value till a certain level of convergence, and therefore the guessed value could be n and the calculated value could be n plus 1. If we do that, this equation becomes Vn plus 1, we are taking B to the other side, equals RT by P plus B, it is a minus B here, minus A into Vn minus B divided by square root of T P Vn into Vn plus B. Let us call this equation 3.12, 312. Now, this is fine for vapor volumes, and with an initial guess that comes out of the ideal gas equation of state, we would be able to ultimately get to the actual molar volume. Whereas, note the form of the equation here, we have a Vn minus B. Therefore, if our initial guess is going to be B, this term is going to get out completely, and therefore, the this a big loss of information here to get to be able to do effective iterations to get realistic liquid volumes. Therefore, this is not the form that we would like to employ for doing iterations to get to liquid volumes. Therefore, we need another form of this equation, either equation 3.9, which is the Redlich-Kwong equation. Yeah, I think that is a better place to start. Here we cannot really do much. Therefore, let us start with the Redlich-Kwong equation itself, which is 3.9, and write it in a form that will allow us to overcome this difficulty and iterate to get liquid volumes. If we expand 3.9, we had 3.9 was this, P equals R t into V minus B minus A by t power 0.5 V into V plus B. Now, multiply, reduce this side to a common denominator, then cross multiply here and so on and so forth. If we do all that, we will get a polynomial expression in terms of V, and that polynomial expression would turn out to be, please do this exercise and convince yourself that this is indeed what you are getting, and also check whether there are any errors in this. You will get a V cubed term there, minus R t by P V squared minus all these are the terms that go along with V as a product, B squared plus B R t by P minus A by P t power 0.5 minus A B divided by P t power 0.5 constant term equals 0. it comes from nothing but a regular reduction or a simplification initially and then an expansion of the Redlich-Kwong equation, algebraically speaking. Let us call this equation 313. For the iteration itself, we said we could have it of the form of Vn plus 1 and Vn. Let us write it as Vn plus 1. This was, where does the V occur here? It occurs here, and therefore we could write this as Vn here, and by a suitable transposition, all these terms could go to the other side, these two terms and this term, and therefore this becomes the denominator on the other side. Vn plus 1 equals, this is the denominator expressed as to the power of minus 1, b squared plus brt by p minus a by pt power 0.5, the whole inverse, which is 1 by this essentially, into Vn cubed minus rt by p Vn squared minus ab by p t power 0.5. So this is a nice way to set up the equation. You could write a program to do this, so that you do not have to go and do the calculations for finding out liquid volumes. Let us call this equation 314. To see how to apply this, to get more comfortable with the process itself, iterative process, and to recognize that gaseous volumes and liquid volumes are two distinct entities that could be obtained from the same equation, let us do this example 3.2. Ethanol is probably one of the most popular products of the bio industry with a large number of uses. This I do not have to tell you, you already know that ethanol is a very popular product. It is also an alternative biofuel. The blending of ethanol with gasoline is done very routinely nowadays, in some countries to the extent of about 15 to 20%, in some other countries 5 to 10%. They have different targets to meet, by which, to the extent to which they can blend ethanol, so that they could reduce the cost of the fossil fuel, the amount of fossil fuel that is being used. As you all know, ethanol comes predominantly from a biological route. Saccharomyces cerevisiae produces ethanol, and that produces your alcoholic beverages also. During the processing of ethanol, post production in a bioreactor, after being produced in a bioreactor, it is subject to conditions of 35 degrees C, at which temperature the vapor pressure is 1.3 into 10 power 4 pascals. Assuming that only ethanol is present, we are dealing with pure substances in this module. So let us make an assumption here that only ethanol is present in this particular process, in this particular situation. Assuming that only ethanol is present, estimate the volumes of the saturated vapor and the saturated liquid at 35 degrees C using the Redlich-Kwong equation of state. Go ahead, think about this for 5 minutes, and then I will give you a couple of hints. 5 minutes please. Okay. Now that you have thought through it, if you have an idea to work it out, go ahead and work it out, stop the lecture here and work it out. If not, you can make use of this hint. I am going to give you one hint at a time first and give you about 5 minutes to process it, and then ultimately a much longer time before I present the complete solution to you. The first hint is we are going to use the Redlich-Kwong equation of state, and therefore we definitely need the Redlich-Kwong constants A and B, but for ethanol. How are you going to find that out? I will give you 5 minutes to think about it. Go ahead, please. Okay. The next hint, or let me say here, you know that you could find out A and B from the critical properties TC and PC, and the critical properties are available in the appendix of your textbook. So that is what you need to use here. I am sure you have figured this out already. Need to use here to do this. The next hint, find vapor volume using Redlich-Kwong equation of state and an iterative procedure, and I would like you to think about what would the initial guess be. Think about this and solve this. It so happens that this particular iteration, if you choose the appropriate initial guess, converges within 2 steps, and therefore take about 5 minutes to do this. Then I will give you the next hint. Okay, now go ahead and solve or complete the process for these two steps if you have not already done so, and since this involves some calculations, I think you should take about 10 minutes to do it. Go ahead please. the now let me give you the next hint and also give you the remainder of the class, which is another 5 minutes left, and whatever time it needs to completely solve the problem. Why I need to give you that much time, I will tell you in a minute, I will tell you very shortly. The next hint is to find the liquid volume using the Redlich-Kwong equation of state and an iterative procedure, and what would the initial guess be in this case is something that you would want to consider. This iteration takes about 5 or 6 steps for convergence, and therefore take the remainder of this class and whatever time it takes as homework to complete the solution. In the next class I will start by presenting the solution.